Hey everybody, it's your favorite astronomy nonprofit, Scopes for Schools. Thanks so much for the donations recently. I wanted to make a video this time to show you what we got and what we can do with what we got. So first off, we were in desperate need for new cabling. For example, some of our cables had deteriorated and almost to the verge of breaking. This is actually a good one. The other one fell apart in 3 sections. And that's just because of age. These the telescopes that we use were right around at least 10 years old. So we got some new cables. This is a brand new one to replace that one. But this one doesn't fit one of the other telescopes, so we have 2 different sizes that we had to get. This means spending more money on cables. Since the telescopes are old, they use serial port communication. So we had to get a USB, so that'll go into the computer. This will connect to the telescope so we can do a little bit more controlling on the telescope. Then we've got, these cables are specific to different kinds of hand boxes or hand controllers. And I'll show you what that is. Those are the brains of the telescope. So this is we're very, very fortunate to have this. This is a Meade LX90 10-inch. This was donated years ago. And this telescope's got a wonderful story to it. It was donated by the family of a gentleman who had passed away. It was their grandfather. And I imagine he probably only had perhaps his family viewing it, or maybe a few friends every now and then. This telescope, I've probably shown close to 2,000 kids. Saturn, Jupiter, the Moon, the Orion Nebula, the Ring Nebula. Just an unbelievable amount of kids and adults have been able to view lots of things in our solar system and in the universe from this telescope. So his passing and this donation from his family have really made a huge impact to a lot of people. And I imagine he's up in heaven saying that was a good purchase, that was a good move to donate it. So because we really pushed this far, and that's why we had to upgrade some things, because this is over 10 years old and it takes a lot of abuse. This whole assembly right here goes into my car and then suffers. You're not supposed to move telescopes this big. They need to be on a pier, and they shouldn't be out. They should be not handled very much at all. But this one has handled pretty well. I'm pretty pleased. Anyhow, so what we did for this was let's see. We purchased. So this is a hand box. This is a hand controller, and this is kind of the computer. The actual star catalog is inside here. And based on this little GPS unit that sits on top, it gathers a time signal. And that time signal is used inside its star catalog to line up the stars according to where you're at that particular time. That's just the way things are set up in these telescopes. They almost always have these little hand controllers. Well, these things break, and we're trying to replace both of them because they're showing a lot of signs of about to break. This cable was replaced with a nice long flat cable, nice and sturdy. It's not going to suffer from the deterioration of that old coiled telephone cable thing that we were using. But anyhow, so computer brain, we still have to use that, but here's the new thing that's really exciting. That's going to change the way that we do these parties. Is this came out, I guess, about a year ago. This is called the Stella Wi-Fi adapter. And what this does is, with an app, which I'll show you in just a bit, the app, your Apple device, has to get onto this Stella Wi-Fi. So this is actually a little Wi-Fi access point. You go into here, rather your Wi-Fi is now this Wi-Fi network, and it converts application commands via Wi-Fi into serial commands. You see your serial connector right there. This is old school. All the way up into the hand box and then into the telescope. So we can control the telescope, the beauty here, is we can control it from an app. And this is really, really a game changer because this is the Stella Access App from Mead. Didn't realize it was going to cost $15, but it's one-time charge and we get to use it on all our devices. So you just can't use more than one device at a time. So this is the main iPad right here. And this was one of the iPad, well, this is the iPad that we bought with donated funds. This is a used one I picked up on eBay for less than $200. This is a good deal. It's also very recent, so it's not going to need to be upgraded or another one bought soon. So this one will last for a long time, as long as we take care of it. So here's why this is cool, is because when I'm out in the field, I'm kind of at the mercy of what I know about the night sky, which is a lot, but most of what I know falls into the ecliptic right here. So this is the line. This is the line that the planets follow, and the sun follows, and the moon follows, right? So there's Venus, the sun, Mars, Mercury. I'm really familiar with that part of the sky, but I'm not familiar as much as I should be with other parts of the sky. And sometimes there's some really amazing things that we want to go look at. Well, if I'm not familiar with it and I'm the host, then we're just not going to see it. And the kids could point to a star up in the sky and we can try to locate it. We can try to move the telescope up to that particular star, but then we don't know what it is or what it's called. So the app has brought a totally new dimension to this. I can literally hand the iPad to a kid or a group of kids, and they can search and search and search whatever they want to find, and we can move the scope that way. So currently right now I did the alignment procedure, which is super easy with this, and I have it pointed at Sirius. So let's just pick, here's Capella, right? Pretty bright star. We'll hit Capella, we say go to, and here we go. So it takes a little time to slew over, but if you do the alignment right, it'll be in the eyepiece for everybody to see. Now they get to see it live here through the eyepiece. The app is just, obviously an animated version of the night sky. There's no camera or anything like that. I honestly don't want to take, during star parties, I don't want to have too much virtualization. I want them looking in the eyepiece, and I want them to see what the star actually looks like. See it twinkle, see its color, see other stars in the background. And this allows us to find more than just these really bright stars. We can find all kinds of stuff. So we can kind of scroll through this. We can find something that we normally wouldn't be on our list because this catalog is just immense. And we can zoom in and zoom out. So, oh, right, sorry, forgot to show you. So there's Capella. Now, I, as an astronomy teacher, know a lot about stars, but I don't know about all the stars, and I certainly don't know a whole lot of details. So we just hit Capella, we take a look at it, and I want to see some info. I hit info, and it gives me all this great information and a picture of it, all right? And it's just filled with wonderful information because the kids often ask me stuff about stars and I'm like, I'm not really sure. And I really don't want to send them to Google because then I've lost them. They'll be on Google, they'll be on Facebook, they'll be on Instagram, forget it. I have all the information right here. And let's see, I can go to, you can just kind of go to a random weird star like this. Here's something in Hydra. It would be totally off the beaten path of our star parties, but we can go to. I honestly don't know how long it's going to take. So, anyhow, this is great. And if I want to learn more about something, I can just hit info, and I can get some information. Like, man, this is kind of not that interesting, but maybe it's really important. Maybe it's got some planets on it. Who knows? And then there we are. So the features of this app and Wi-Fi connection that's able to control the telescope is just fantastic because we're going to get so much more out of each object that we go to, we're going to learn more about each object. It's fast. And the kids are familiar enough with this interface that I can give them control. I used to never be able to do that. I was always the one in control, and I was more of, obviously the host, but now I can kind of pass this over to the kids and say, hey, why don't you go find me a magnitude 8 star and blah, 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 and they can kind of hunt through and they can scan, and then, let's see, there's a double star there. Or I could ask them, can you locate the double star in the Big Dipper, and then at that point, go find it. So they could actually, a little lesson would be to look up each one of these, right? And find out if it's a double star. And then they'll finally eventually come to, oh, it's Mizar, well, let's go take a look at it, right? So there's the double star Mizar. And we can simply go to. Maybe? Oh, wait, maybe. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here we are going to Mizar. Hello. That simply would not have happened. That would have taken a long time to actually do that without this app. So this app is fantastic. It's super easy to set up. It's not cheap though. I mean, again, the app's $15, but the Stella Access module, the Wi-Fi adapter, it's over $200. So it's an investment. And I wanted to thank everybody that shared this or donated or whatever you did to make this possible. This is going to be really great. So thanks again, and we'll keep doing what we do.